Does your home suffer from paint failure? It's time to paint the exterior of your home if it's suffering from caulking, peeling, blistering or dried wood, fading or bleaching, cracked or stained stucco. Have the Arizona Painting Company make your home look like new again. With our Gold Package, we offer the best and only 10-year paint warranty in Arizona. Our crews are experienced, well-trained, friendly, and best of all, they'll make sure you're 100% satisfied. Choose the best. Choose the Arizona Painting Company. Visit us online or call today and ask about our 10-year Gold Package paint warranty.
It was more than impressive, I have to say. I mean, the track is identical to the real track. I was blown away how realistic it is. Every little bump, every little spray paint, everything is exactly like you were there at the track. It was a great experience. This is a warm-up lap now. Tires to get warmed up. The engine. Breathe a little bit here when you go through that little bump there. And then it's flat pretty much all the way through here, just about. Hard braking. This is the slowest part of the track. And then I've done, I did many races in Formula 3, Formula 2. And then I did the very last race they did there in Group C in 1983 in the 956 Porsche. That's when Beloff got the lap record at the 6:11. I think I was second on the grid with the 6:14 or something. Which was, I mean, those cars were awesome around there, of course, like any car is, that speed. And this is the corner of all corners here, the Schwedenkreuz. Flat all the way into it. And then trail brake all the way into the apex here. And then hard at it again, get good speed down the hill here. Mega fast down this hill here. Just jump from one apex to the next. Gotta be super precise here. I mean, it's almost exactly like the real thing. So, I mean, it is certainly realistic enough to get past the very, a lot of the initial hurdles you have when you try to learn to drive a race car, So, I mean, I think it's an excellent tool to learn how to race for sure, or learn to drive a car on a racetrack.
In the open road, I got the throttle wide open. Feel my pace. Got 100 horses between my legs. No destination, no end in sight. Just me in the open road, riding into the moonlight. On my two wheels, all that I need is white lines and gasoline. Life in the fast lane, it's easy to maintain. Just twist the throttle on back and feel no pain. From the open highways, backwoods of the country, where live free or die is the only way. life and death in my own hands. I am my own justice, I am my own man. I never look behind through all that I have seen. 'Cause all I need is white lines of gasoline, white lines of gasoline, white lines of gasoline, white lines of gasoline. We believe in the American way, and we built this country called the USA, and we fly our flag 'cause we're proud and free, we're Americans. Red, white, and blue is our way of life. We never back down from a challenge or a fight. Nature provides, God gives the rights, we're Americans. We make up America, this amazing America. Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets trembling, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land under the frame, and the home of the brave,
Good evening, sim racing fans, and welcome to round number 4 of the Domino's TYJ Top Shelf Cup Series, live here on All Pro Broadcasting. Fourth week of the season brings us here to the Hollywood Hills, an Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California. We're here tonight for tonight's 200-mile event, the Arizona Painting 200. I'm Gabriel Wood, alongside me, Robert McFarland, Michael D'Amico, getting the picture you see to you tonight. And it's going to be another good race here. Coming into tonight, 3 races down, it's a 10-point lead with Tanner Talrico in the number 42. He's got Ryan Hill with the number 55. As I said, 10 points back with 109 points here at 3 races in. Both of them have one top 5 on the year. The difference is Tanner won at Atlanta. So Ryan Hill looking for his first win of the year, as well as Mitchell Reeves, who won here in the preseason race. So Robert, I'm expecting that O2 machine to get up front quickly.
I agree with you, Gabe. Thank you for welcoming me in. This is going to be a very exciting race here at Auto Club Speedway in California. This is a huge 2-mile oval, and we're going to have a lot of fast drivers up front, Gabe. There's no telling who's going to pull this one off tonight. These guys have been vying for the win every single Thursday night, and I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Like Mitchell Reeves in the O2 is on the racetrack right now. He's going to take the first of 2 qualifying laps. He's actually just coming off a pit road, ready to take the green flag here on the back straightaway. He's going to take the green flag when he comes to the start-finish line. He practiced third with a 37.884 compared to David Washington, who was practiced in first at a 37.856. So David Washington looking for another win here. Finally got that win last week, and he's looking for win number 2 on the year. 3 different winners so far with Damon Gilbert, who was your points leader last week, but he's now dropped down to the 5th spot. He won. Tanner Talrico got the win at Atlanta, and David Washington got the win last week.
Yes, we have definitely had a pretty big diversity of winners this year, Gabe. I expect more of the same. Like I said, we have a full field of talented drivers tonight. We got guys that might have had a practice time in the 20s, 15th, 10th. Any of these guys can pull off a win here at California. It's going to take a lot to win this race tonight, and I'm definitely looking forward to see who will get it done.
I don't know if we were able to catch that on the cameras, but the O2 of Mitchell Reeves on lap number 1, he was coming off of turn number 4 to actually take the green flag and ended up striking the wall coming off of turn number 4. Robert, that is going to be the first of many hits on that outside turn number 4 wall here tonight, because that is one thing here at Auto Club. It's going to jump up and bite you. You cross these seams here, you look at them, there's 4 distinct black lines in the middle of the racetrack. You start crossing those, the car gets upset and drifts up into the wall.
Yeah, these guys are going to probably be good to go for about, Gabe, what would you say, 2, 3, maybe 5 laps on brand new fresh rubber. But once the tires get a few laps on them, the cars are going to start to do a little pushing. They're going to get a little bit, how do you say it, tight in, loose off, so to speak. And that wall is definitely going to come up in a hurry coming out of turn 4.
Well, here at Auto Club, actually, it's very interesting. The track is so long, you're tight in, the car wants to get loose in the middle, and then it's tight off. You start crossing these seams, the car gets upset, and it drifts up into the wall. That's what happened with the O2 there on his first lap. But now, he's to the top of the board. Came in, got a new car, got it repaired, ended up coming back on the racetrack and gets the pole right now out of 20 drivers. So Mitchell Reeves on the provisional pole with a 37.910. Looks like he lost about half a tenth from his practice time, but looks like everybody's slowing down just a little bit. I think, no, looks like Curtis Young in the number 94. He's qualified in second. It looks like he actually gained 2 1/1000ths of a second, so consistency is the key for that number 94.
Yes, Gabe, and there's quite a few drivers who have not finished their qualifying time yet. They might have gone out a little bit late. Would not surprise me at all to see one or two of these excellent drivers get the pole position and knock Mitchell Reeves off the top, but we'll just have to wait another minute or two to find out.
Looks like David Washington on the racetrack here for lap number 1. He's coming out of turn number 2 at the moment. Ryan Hill also on the racetrack taking his time, but the number 98 is going to look to take another pole here. Not sure if he's got a pole here in 20. It looks like no, he's going after his first pole of the year. Going to try and get it here at Auto Club Speedway. Looks like Dustin Lee in the number 32. Sorry, Robert. Looks like Dustin Lee's actually taking the pole so far, and let's see David Washington come across the line. Third, so Dustin Lee is securely in that number 1 spot at the moment.
Yes, sir, Gabe. I do want to welcome all the fans in. We had a huge crowd watching our race last night, the premiere of the Domino's TYJ Racing Dented Fender Truck Series. Gabe, you were in that race, but tonight it's all about Auto Club. It's all about Top Shelf Cup, and the sponsor for tonight is Arizona Painting. This is the Arizona Painting 200. We are happy to have them here. Arizona Painting, they are big painters, the biggest company in the state of Arizona. They have a huge program called Paint It Forward. They do at least 2 houses every year just for charity. I'm going to give you some more information on that program later, but we were very thankful that Arizona Painting came on board tonight, Gabe.
Looks like qualifying is over, so these drivers are going to form up on the grid, and we're going to get your iRacing starting grid here for round number 4 of the Domino's Top Shelf Series. Dustin Lee comes in, as I said, with a 37.862 and gets his pole in that number 32 machine. Mitchell Reeves coming off the win in the preseason race in that number 02 machine. He's going to look to get to victory lane here in tonight's race in the 37.910. David Washington, your winner last week, comes in third. Curtis Young in the 4th position. Dylan Jones in 5th. Nick Reynolds in 6th. Jason Jacoby in the Domino's pretty much house car coming home in that 7th spot in qualifying. Brian Cutts in 8th. Mike Franklin in 9th. Brandon Monsivius in the 10th position.
Yes, we have starting 11th, Kyle Kammer in the 88. On his outside, we have Ryan A. Hill in the 55 machine starting 12th. We have a newcomer, Gabriel Campbell in the 25. He is starting 13th. He made his debut last night in the Truck Series race. Did a great job, led a few laps. Starting 14th.
Gerald Campbell. Actually.
Yeah, sorry, my bad. Yes, sir, Gabe. Gerald Campbell.
I'm the only Gabriel in this league.
You're the only Gabriel. Yes, sir. My bad. We do have William Davis starting 14th in the 011. Also, we have veteran driver Curtis Aho starting 15th in the 16. Starting in 16th position, we have Kyle Charpentier. Finally got his name right in the 003. Starting 17th, Gabe, we have James Ross in the 14. Starting 18th, we have William Roberts in the 12. 19th, we have Tim B. Cox in the 19. And starting 20th, we have Gary Sexton in the 17.
In the 21st position, the number 24, Eric Stanford, is going to roll off just outside the top 20. Tanner Talrico, your points leader, starts off just like Gilbert did in Vegas. I believe that was with the race. He started in the rear, and that ended up costing him his points lead as he was caught up in a few accidents. So maybe Tanner's going to have a little bit better luck as cars begin to roll. Marcus Potts in the 23rd spot, and Josh Bonwell is in the 24th. Jesse Abraham rounds out your top 25. Here's your final few cars to qualify. Looks like Tanner Talrico is actually coming to pit road to sit, so he's going to let everybody go. Looks like the 26th position is going to go to Raymond Vasquez in the 72. Jeffrey Ford rounds out your drivers to take time in qualifying. Ray Rittenauer comes home in 28th. Ryan Matthews in 29th. Buzz Moore, Seth Audi, Jack Watts, George Hendricks, and Jeff T. Martin round out your 34-car field as they begin to roll for their one and only pace lap to begin lap number 1.
Yes, Gabe, it'll be very interesting to see. This is a long 100-lap race, how these cars and these drivers are going to manhandle this racetrack. Obviously, these tires are going to go away fast. We've seen it every single week, Gabe. the drivers who can maintain and manage their tire wear the best, those are the drivers that end up near the front at the end of a long green flag run, and we do expect a lot of green flag racing tonight, Gabe.
Lights are out atop the iRacing first Ford Mustang pace car, leading the field into turn number 4. It's going to pull down the pit road this time by, or hopefully what is the last time. Anything can happen here at Auto Club. 200 miles, 100 laps here in the Arizona Painting 200, and we're getting ready to go green. Dustin Lee leads him off from the pole. He's going to fire down the front straightaway, and he's going to be cleared by the time he gets to the start-finish line. Mitchell Reed is going to try and duck down, and looks like they're going to go single file going into turn number 1 for your top 3 positions. First battle into turn number 1, Dylan Jones on the inside of the 94, Curtis Young, as they exit turn number 2.
Yes, Gabe, looked like a bit of a checkup there midway back in the pack, coming to green, but everything worked out fine. We are staying green here, and Mitchell Reeves has got his eye right on Dustin Lee as the leader. It'll be interesting to see how he can track him down here in the first couple of laps.
It's like Mitchell Reeves actually pushes up the racetrack, so he's going to lose that second spot to David Washington by lap number 1. Dustin Lee leads lap number 1. They come down the front straightaway. That number 98 Chef Andy's Lobster rolls forward. It's going to roll into turn number 1 in that second spot. Still side by side for the third spot. Mitchell Reeves is now under attack from Dylan Jones in the 03. As they come into turn number 2. Looks like he's going to get that position on him by the time they get to turn number 3. Nope, they're going to be side by side with Jason Jacoby in the number 1 right behind.
Yes, Gabe, Dylan C. Jones is in that Gravely Power Equipment Chevy SS. It's a good-looking car tonight. He's going to be tracking down David Washington. These two guys could be the class of the field tonight, but as I said before, we've got a lot of talented drivers. Anything can happen here at Auto Club.
Still side by side, Mitchell Reeves losing yet another position to Curtis Young in the number 94 as they go into turn number 1. That outside lane just killing that number 02's momentum from second, now outside the top 5, and he's going to look and lose some more. Car almost gets into the wall there, but they're going to save it. Can't see the number on that car, but 02 and Mitchell Reeves, he's fighting back. He's trying to get around his teammate, the number 10 of Nick Reynolds. He's going to try and get to the back bumper of him, but now he's going to slide away as they go to the outside. Looks like the 04 of Brian Cutts trying to make that outside lane work around the 55 of Ryan Hill, but it's not going to work out for him. And it looks like we got a change for the lead. David Washington took the lead that time by, and he made it work. So move that number 98 to the lead.
Yes, sir. Everybody's going to be following David Washington, trying to find the best line around. It looks like Dustin Lee is going to fight back a little bit, try to get right to his bumper as they go into the turn. He might get a move on the inside of him here.
Not going to give up that lead position easily as they go into turn number 3 to the back bumper. Now you can throw the top 3 under a blanket. Here comes Dylan Jones in the 03. The two Aegis teammates are the the bread in that number 32 sandwich. He's got 2 teammates around him. He's going to have a tough fight for that lead. Looks like 32 of Dustin Lee's falling back now from the 98 of David Washington. They go into turn number 1 and look at Jason Jacoby up from the 7th spot in that Domino's Toyota and now into the 4th spot. So good on that number 1.
Yes, sir, Gabe, and behind him we do have Nick Reynolds. He's in that Southeast Motorsports Chevy SS. He's having a good run already tonight. Mitchell Reeves has recovered a little bit. He's going back around Curtis Young, taking over that 6th position.
Like Mitchell Reeves ducking to the apron, trying to get just a little bit of a run around Curtis Young. He's going to try and maintain that gap. Looks like going into turn number 1, they're going to be okay. Looks like those 2 Southeast Motorsports cars are going to pull away in 5th and 6th. Back up front, Dustin Lee under fire from Dylan Jones in the number 03 as they go into turn number 3. Looks like he's got about half a car length on him. Here he goes to the inside, the 03 of Dylan Jones, going after second. Looks like he pushed up just a little bit, hopped that seam, but it's not going to matter. There goes Dustin Lee to the top side, going down the front straightaway. Here they come to the start-finish line. Jones ducks to the apron, and this is going to allow Jason Jacoby in that number 1 to catch him. See if they can sort it out by the time they get to turn number 1. That Dustin Lee machine's not going to have a fight to put, and there goes the 03 of Dylan Jones to the 2nd spot.
Yes, and that does give Jason Jacoby and that Domino sponsor Toyota, like you mentioned, a little bit of room to gain some ground on these guys up front in the top 3. Would not surprise me at all to see Jason Jacoby fight for the win tonight. He is one of our best drivers out here. Hadn't had the best of luck so far in 2017, but he's now making a move on Dustin Lee. He looks to the inside.
fight for the final podium position here on lap number 7. We're almost a tenth of the way through tonight's event so far. There goes that one to the bottom side. He's got him there at the start-finish line, so the timing and scoring will show the number 1 at Jason Jacoby in that 3rd spot. Now he's clear by the time they exit turn number 1 into 2. Now Jason Jacoby in that number 1 machine is going to go after Dylan Jones, try and break up that Noble party up front.
Yes, looks like Dave Washington still got almost a half a second lead over Dylan Jones. Couple tenths back, we have Jason Jacoby. Right on his heels, we do have Dustin Lee. Mitchell Reeves, like I said, has fought back up to the 5th position. It looks like he's about a second and a half back from the leader. 2 seconds back, we do have Curtis Young. Ryan A. Hill, who started 12th, he has smartly moved up to the 7th position. He's about 2.5 seconds back. We got Nick Reynolds, who started in 6th. He's fallen back to 8th position, about 3 seconds back. Kyle Kammer is back in 9th position, 3 seconds back. And rounding out your top 10, we do have the 04 of Brian Coots. He's about 3.5 seconds back.
Looks like your first battle on the racetrack, where they just settled it down. Looks like the 14 of James Ross was able to get around the 82 of Mike Franklin. So they're going to single that out for the time being. The 54 of Brandon Cruz Monsivice is in that number 54 machine, trying to get into the top 15. He's right now in the 16th spot. Now going after Mike Franklin, who is in 15th in that number 82 machine. They go on the front straightaway into turn number 1. Looks like he's got that inside position, and there he goes. So, it's not really looking like that outside lane is going to be able to put up a fight here. It's just not worked in at the moment. It may not even work in with the 100 laps we have here tonight. 90 laps to go this time by when they get back to the stripe. Looks like Brandon tried to make that move work, but he got tight and is now going to be under fire from the 011 of William Davis. There, and it looks like Kyle Charpentier is also going to put up a fight.
Yes, Kyle Charpentier, he is running that 003 Ford Fusion. It's the Drive for Suicide Prevention Ford Fusion. That's a beautiful paint job on his car. He has moved up, it looks like, from 16th, actually right at 16th. He's in 17th now, but he did make that pass around Brandon. And he is one of our top drivers who won a couple of the different trial races before the 2017 official season started. We're looking for big things from him tonight.
Back up front, David Washington continuing to pull away by about half a second over Dylan Jones in the number 03. Jason Jacoby still in that number 3 spot. Dustin Lee in that 4th spot, sliding down. He's actually worked his way back, continue the slide. Mitchell Reeves has actually worked his way from 8th whenever he was restarting the race, now up to 5th.
Yeah, Gabe, it's very interesting how we were on lap 12 right now, and some of the drivers who pressed really hard the first couple laps fell back some. Some of the other drivers pressed really hard between laps, say, 5 and 10. Now they're seeming to fall back. One of those is a good example would be Jason Jacoby. He's up to 3rd place, but he's about to fall into the clutches of the 4th place running machine of Dustin Lee, and this is going to be a good battle here in the next couple of laps.
Going to see if Jason Jacoby is going to be able to hold off that number 32 here as we work closer and closer to that 1/4 distance mark.
A little bit further back in the field, we're going to take us through the field here just for a minute. We do have Kyle Kammer in the 88 Interstate Batteries MB&A Chevy SS. He's making a move right now. Looks like he is passing the 10 of Nick Reynolds. He makes that pass very clean, so Nick Reynolds will fall back to the 9th position. Curtis Aho has moved up very well up to the 11th position. He's in that 16 machine. Trying to get the sponsor on that machine. Don't see it right off the bat. Looks like Race Alpha Tango Ford Fusion for Curtis Aho.
Curtis Aho looking to get back to victory lane in that number 16 machine. Behind him, Brian Cutts under fire from William Roberts Jr., and he's going to shove him down to the bottom side of the racetrack. Hard fight for that 11th spot between the 04 and the 12, and that's going to allow James Ross in that 14 Xerox Ford Fusion to catch him and pass the 04 down the front straightaway.
Yeah, that was a great move on Brian's part. He knew those guys were coming on the low side. He didn't want to press the issue. He didn't want to put himself in the wall this early in the race, so he let those guys pass. He saved his equipment. He'll definitely be back later in the race. One other thing I do want to mention real quick, Gabe, is tonight like every Thursday night, every Wednesday night, fans, we do appreciate being here. We are doing the free pizza giveaway like we always do here at Domino's TYJ Racing. How that works real quick, fans, all you have to do is text 919-883-7497 before lap 50. You got about 34, 35 laps to get your pick in. The first fan to accurately pick the winner of this race before halfway, which is lap 50, you will win a free large 3-topping carry-out only pizza from your local store anywhere in the United States of America. We've given away about 14 different pizzas, gave in the last 16 weeks. We gave another one away last night, and we're definitely looking forward to it. Or you can comment in the chat. If you're watching this live on the YouTube All Pro Broadcasting, you just pick out your winner. We've got a few picks already, and we're definitely looking to get your pick in so you can possibly win that free pizza, Gabe.
Big battle brewing around the 88, the 10, and looks like the 16 of Curtis Aho there. 3 wide, and there goes the 12 of William Roberts Jr. into the wall. 3 wide on the front straightaway. 4 around that back half of the top 15. They go into turn number 1. It's a 2x2x2 battle between the 12, the 14, the 10, the 88, and the 16. Looks like they're going to sort it out mostly. Looks like the 88 of, Kyle Kamer is actually going to lose a few positions there. James Ross getting a little bit squirrely. Here comes Mike Franklin, the 82 machine. He's going to throw his hat into the ring.
Yes, these guys are definitely mixing it up here. 3, 4 wide looks like coming through there. And we got 3 wide a little bit further back in the pack. In 25th position, I'm looking at Jesse Abraham. He's getting passed. Looks like by Jack Watts of the 66 Southeast Motorsports Chevy SS. He just got passed by Josh Bonwell's behind him now.
Back up to that battle because it's still not settled down. Looks like, it's a mad scrap for this race because it looks like we got the 011 of William Davis Jr. You got Kyle Kamer. He's already lost 3 positions in this lap, and he's already worked his way back up. So he's just, falling back and forth through the field. Here comes Marcus Potts in the 2 machine. He started 23rd, now up to 16th, 15th, working his way through. They're 3 wide again between the 19, the 011, and the 04. So it is, Robert, this is some great racing here for what, is between 11th and 15th. Exactly, got a little contact there. They're going to get really, really close. Coming out of turn number 2, they're still 3 wide for this entire lap.
Yes, this is some of the greatest racing on the track right now. You're absolutely right. These cars, I just heard from one of the teammates, the cars are getting tight. The tires are getting some wear on them, but this is a great battle here. Going for like you said, the 12th to the 16th position. They are still 3 wide, 4 wide, trying to make it out. And Kyle Kamer makes his way back up into this mix. He's going to make a blanket over about 6 different cars, Gabe.
Here comes Tanner Talrico in the number 42 machine. He's got the 17 on the outside of him. Here he goes, 3 wide into turn number 1. Tim B. Cox in the number 19. He's going to have to defend that lower line. Here comes the 88 on the outside, continuing to slide farther and farther back. But every time a person gets in front of this pack, they start racing side by side, and more drivers join the fray. Because here comes the 17 of Gary Sexton.
Yes, Gary Sexton. He's in that Cross Continent Racing number 17 Chevy SS. He had a good run last night in the Truck Series. And yes, so 3 wide now. 1 car is going down pit road. And it looks like Gary is trying to make a move here. He's moving up from 20th up to 18th now as he crawls to start finish.
I want to update you real quick. We're going to stay with this battle. We're going to continue watching it. I just want to tell you, no change up front between your top 4, top 5 even. David Washington, Dylan Jones, Jason Jacoby, Mitchell Reeves, and Dustin Lee still your top 5. We're going to continue watching this. Looks like they've sorted it out mostly. Looks like Kyle Sharp's here in the 003. It's now going around Marcus Potts. They come out of turn number 4, so he's going to move up into that number 13 position. Marcus Potts maintains his 14th spot.
Yes, a little bit further back in the field, looks like we do have Gerald Campbell. We talked about him earlier. He's in that 25 car number Castrol GTX Ford Fusion. He's getting some pressure right now by Kyle Kamer, in the Interstate Batteries 88. He's going to pass Gerald on the low side here. So that's going to drop Gerald back to 20th position, looks like. He's one of our newest drivers, and he's just getting a good grip and a good feel for these other drivers in this new series for him. He's doing a great job so far.
Started 13th now down to the 20th spot, so he's just riding it out, waiting, and just biding his time and just trying to log some laps here in his debut. like he's also going to have the 51 Ryan Matthews, so he's going to lose some positions. Caution is out on the racetrack. Looks like a wreck between the 82 of Mike Franklin and the 12 of William Roberts Jr.
Yeah, we're going to get that replay pulled up in just a minute.
Looks like drivers involved, and it looks like Gerald Campbell locked up the brakes entering that wreck, trying to miss it. Looks like Tanner Talrico got a little bit of damage, heavy damage for the 003 of Kyle Sharpens here. Looks like these guys, looks like the 82 just slid up the racetrack, crossed those seams as I talked about in the pre-race, and the 12 had nowhere to go. He was also sliding up the racetrack.
Yes, sir. Mike Franklin, like you said, tires wore, got up into the wall. Before you could think twice, William Roberts Jr. in that Monster Energy Toyota was right in there to him. And that caught up a couple more vehicles, including the 003 of Kyle Charpentier. Wow, it took out a few good drivers.
I'll tell you what, while these drivers catch up and we're going to be under caution here, we're going to take a moment and take a commercial break, and we'll bring you right back to the Green Flag Racing action here at Auto Club Speedway for the Arizona Painting 200 for the Domino's TYJ Top Shelf Cup Series. We'll be right back here on All Pro Broadcasting.
Does your home suffer from paint failure? It's time to paint the exterior of your home if it's suffering from caulking, peeling, blistering or dried wood, fading or bleaching, cracked or stained stucco. Have the Arizona Painting Company make your home look like new again. With our gold package, we offer the best and only 10-year paint warranty in Arizona. Our crews are experienced, well-trained, friendly, and best of all, they'll make sure you're 100% satisfied. Choose the best. Choose the Arizona Painting Company. Visit us online or call today and ask about our 10-year gold package paint warranty.
We're back here live at Auto Club Speedway, working caution number 1 here on lap number 26. Lights are out atop the iRacing.com Series pace car, so we're going to go Green Flag Racing this time. Or excuse me, my view is actually being blocked. We're going to go green next time by. Dylan Jones actually got the jump on the number 98 of David Washington and got into the lead. So that's going to move that number 98 down to the second spot. Move Jason Jacoby into that third spot. Ryan Hill overtakes Mitchell Reeves in the pits and moves into that fourth spot.
Yes, it does look like we do have Dylan Jones as the leader. We're going to have a restart here on lap 26. I do want to mention real quick, just a reminder, fans, we appreciate you watching tonight. Get your picks in. We are giving away a large free 3-topping Domino's pizza from your local carryout store anywhere in the United States of America. All you have to do is pick the winner of tonight's race before halfway, which is in about, looks like Gabe, 24 laps. All you have to do, fans, is text 919-883-7497. Give me the name of the driver you're going to pick for the win. or you can comment in the text if you're watching on the YouTube broadcast for All Pro Broadcasting. And like I said, we'll let you know at the end of the race who wins the free pizza tonight, Gabe.
Plenty of time for you to get your picks in, and plenty of time for these drivers to work their way up front. Dustin Lee moves down into the 6th spot after being overtaken by Mitchell Reeves in the pits as well, and moved Curtis Young down to the 7th spot, along with his buddy Curtis Aho. So Curtis and Curtis show taking up the 4th row in the 16 and number 94 cars.
Yeah, I do want to give a quick shout out. We got some guys that have moved up during this pit stop cycle. Ryan A. Hill started in 12th. Looks like he is up to the 4th position. We've also got, like you said, Curtis Aho and Curtis Young. They're up in the 7th and 8th position. Marcus Potts, he started 23rd. He's up in 9th tonight right now, so he's looking good for the top 10. Tanner Talarico started 22nd. He's up to 12th. We got a lot of guys that moved up a lot. A few guys have dropped back just a little bit. Dustin Lee has fallen back to 6th. He was a pole sitter. It'll be a really interesting game to see how these guys mix it up on this restart, knowing that we could have another long green flag run.
Lights are out atop the pace car. 28 drivers on the lead lap. Brian Cutts getting the wave around, working his way back around the racetrack in the number 04. So that puts 28 drivers on the lead lap. Off the lead lap, Jesse Abraham. 1 lap down, Cal Charpentier, William Roberts, Gerald Kemper, Mike Franklin, and Ramon Vasquez. Then the number 34 spot.
Yes, Gabe, are you expecting another long green flag run here, or do you think these guys are going to get a little bit more aggressive now we're getting closer to halfway?
I think we might see more of the same. We're going to run green flag racing, and then maybe once the tires wear out, we will get another caution. The drivers just not being careful, trying to push and going up into the outside wall, coming off of turn number 4 like we saw last time. But hopefully we'll go green for the remainder of tonight's race. Right now we're green flag here on lap number 28 as they come by the start-finish line. Dylan Jones leading his first lap of the night under green flag conditions. As they go into turn number 1, Jason Jacoby not going to have a fight for the 2nd spot. He's actually going to lose 3rd from Ryan Hill in the number 55.
Yes, Gabe, we do have teammates up front. We do have Dylan Jones leading the race. We have David Washington running 2nd. These guys are going to be chased down. Looks like Ryan Hill was putting a big battle. We've also got Mitchell Reeves here.
For that 3rd spot as they go.
Yes, sir.
3, but he's going to back out of it and let Jason Jacoby have that podium position for the time being.
Yes, Gabe, these are some really smart drivers. Go ahead.
Sorry, Robert. Looks like David Washington actually going for that lead, so he's going to let his teammate lead a lap and now move to that top spot. So Dylan Jones not going to put up a fight between him and his teammate. 202 miles an hour at that time by at the start-finish line. As they go into turn number 1, move the number 98 back to the lead.
And just as we say that, Dylan Jones is making a beeline right on the back bumper of the Regis number 98 Ford Fusion. These guys are going to be battling it out for the lead. And look at that. It gives us Jason Jacoby a chance to catch him in the one sponsored Domino's Toyota. This is going to be a great three-way battle for the lead, Gabe.
Throw your top 3 under a blanket. The actual sponsor on the back of that number 98 is actually Aegis. Another font makes it a little bit harder to read. That is the team name, the halfway team name of the number 98 to 03, and I believe the 14 of James Ross as well, and Andy Kessler when he decides to run this series. I believe he runs the truck series, but a strong showing. They run the RSR series as well, and they make a strong showing of it there as well.
Yeah, like I was saying, it looks like the only person that can keep up with those teams, the Aegis team. Did I say it right that time, Gabe?
Yeah, I think you got it.
Aegis team is Jason Jacoby here, the number 1 sponsored Domino's Toyota. And I love seeing the Domino's car up front. It's going to be a long race still to go. And a little bit further back, we've got some other drivers that are mixing it up as well, Gabe.
Moving back through the field, looks like Tanner Talarico. He's actually worked his way from the 22nd spot now into the top 10. Looks like Marcus Potts getting overtaken by him, so move him into the top 9 positions. As Marcus Potts continues to slide back through the field. He's actually moved up from the 23rd spot now into the 10th spot, so he's working very well. Looks like Tim Cox from number 19 working his way around the 011 of William Davis as they go into turn number 3. So a battle for that 12th spot.
And he makes that pass look easy. Of course, at this point in the race, you do want to not put up too big of a fight. You don't want to get any damage on your car here. These cars, like you said, are running, going down the front stretch here. As they cross the start-finish line right at 199, 200, 201, 202, 203, 204. I see 205 there from Tim B. Cox. So these cars are flying. You don't want to have any kind of cosmetic damage at all.
Looks like Curtis Young in the number 94 working his way around. That should be Dustin Lee in the number 32. Dustin Lee sliding back to that 7th spot. He put up a little bit of a fight, but it's not going to happen. I spoke a little bit too soon. Here comes Dustin Lee on the outside. I think he's trying to put up that fight with the outside lane. Is he going to be able to hold it? Looks like they're still side by side by the time they come by the start-finish line, but this is going to allow Curtis Aho in that 16 to catch up as well.
Yes, these drivers are some very fiercely competitive drivers. There's a 32 and the 94 of Dustin Lee and Curtis Young are side by side going through the corner here. For the most part, they're not going to give each other that much room at all. They're going to race clean. They're going to race hard. They might even scrape and trade some paint here, Gabriel. But at these speeds, got a big wreck, it looks like, or sounds like, maybe in the back of the pack. I do not think the cautions come out, though.
All right, man, caution is out. Caution is out.
There it comes.
Caution is out. Number 94 of Jeffrey Ford. Spinning down on the back straightaway. Heavy contact for that number 95 machine. Let's see what happened. Looks like the number 88 of Kyle Kamer slid up the racetrack into him, and it should be an isolated incident for the number 95 machine.
Yeah, it looks like the 88 of Kyle Kamer, as we bring this replay up, he got down there on the apron. A lot of us have known. You get on the apron here at California, doing about 160 miles an hour, and you're definitely going to get loose. He was able to correct the car, but he lost enough speed that the 95 was just not able to slow down in time, and he got right into the back of him.
Unfortunate end of the night for the number 95 machine. Working the caution number 2, so David Washington is going to come to pit road, and Jason Jacoby is actually in the 2nd spot. So at some point we were watching, he's going to get into that 2nd spot, so hopefully he can hold it. Dylan Jones he made up 2 positions last time they came down pit road, so maybe he can have a repeat performance.
Yes, Gabe, I do want to remind viewers a little bit of history real quick on the Arizona Painting Company, as we got a chance here before pit stops happen, or while pit stops are happening. We'll cover who comes out where. Arizona Painting Company in Arizona, like I mentioned earlier, they are the home company of Paint It Forward, Every single year, Arizona Painting, they paint 2 houses for charities. Back in 2015, Kelly was a winner. Her husband had a serious, slow advancing cancer disease, and they had a homeowner's letter came in the mail about their home needing to be painted. That year, Arizona Painting got over 100 applications from people who needed to get their homes painted in a charity way, and Arizona Painting stepped up. They painted 2 homes. Kelly's was one of those homes. They give back to the community. If you live in Arizona, want to make sure you call 1-800-PAINTING. They have a huge crew. Michael D'Amico is definitely part of that crew, and it's one of the greatest painting companies in the Southwest, definitely for sure in Arizona. Arizona Painting Company, we're thankful they're here for tonight's race.
So a change up in the running order. The 51 of Ryan Matthews takes 2 tires on that exchange of pit stops and moves into the lead. So that's going to be an interesting thing to look for. Looks like Dylan Jones actually got around Jason Jacoby on that exchange as well. So that team getting it done on pit road yet again.
Yes, I tell you what, Gabe, this California track, how many laps do we have on those tires to begin with? Taking 2 is definitely an option at most tracks. It's definitely an option you can take tonight, but you've got to be real careful in the restart. You've got the right side tires that are brand new. They're not warmed up like the left side tires are. You might get a little bit of rubber in your tires. It's going to be real interesting to see if he's able to hold this car going into turn 1 and 2 at full speed with only 2 new right side tires.
I'm not expecting much from that number 51 machine. It's not anything on the driver. It's just the amount of tires that are going to have the load that they're going to have to hold up underneath that number 51 machine. So it's going to be interesting to look here on the restart. Should get the 1 to go next time by. So we're at 2 to go at the moment, closing in on 10 laps to go till halfway.
Yes, Gabe, and you mentioned the points a little bit earlier in the broadcast, right when we started. Ryan Matthews, I'm not sure where he is in the point standings, but every point you can get for leading a lap, either now in the race, in 2 weeks in the race, if you can get a point leading a lap, that's going to help you out to make the chase a little bit later in the year, and so that's definitely a move Ryan's making right now. Hopefully it'll hold up, and he can get a good top 5 finisher out of the race for that move.
Going to have to wait and see if he can get a caution here after this restart. Looks like he's saying on the radio lefts are not worn too bad, so It'll be interesting to see. This is going to be something for these drivers to look at for later in the race. We're going to make a few more pit stops by the time this race is over with. And if this two-tire strategy can work out, you may see a lot more drivers taking the 2 tires.
Yes, Gabe, and I'm going to go out on a limb real quick. Would not surprise me if there are a couple of real NASCAR drivers watching this race tonight. We have a few watch from time to time. And the 2-tire pit strategy here at California Auto Club is definitely something to find out about. And here, we're going to get a lot of information from the drivers in the race tonight. And maybe some NASCAR drivers are going to get some good ideas how that's going to work out as well. Because this is identical to real NASCAR racing.
Lights are going to go out atop the iRacing.com pace car. So Ryan Matthews, for the first time on the night, is going to be leading them back to the green flag. David Washington in second, Dylan Jones in third, Jason Jacoby in that 4th spot, Mitchell Reeves in 5th, Ryan Hill in 6th. Ryan Hill finished 2nd in the preseason race to Mitchell Reeves, so he's going to have to look and make a 1-spot position on that performance to get his first victory on the season.
Yes, Ryan Hill has the new nickname of Mr. Second Place. We're definitely hoping he can get him to win. He's finished 2nd place so many times it's hard to keep track, but he is definitely one of our top drivers, and he is definitely going to break out, and it would not surprise me to see him get 3, 4, 5 wins this year once that happens.
Going to have to wait and see what he can do in that number 55 machine as they work down the back straightaway. 27 cars on the lead lap. Kyle Kamer working his way around the racetrack, getting that wave around, so he's going to rejoin the field as they work their way into turn number 3. That 51 is going to lead his first laps on the night.
Yes, real quick, fans, get your picks in. We do have people who have already picked Dave Washington for the win, Ryan Matthews for the win. We got Josh Bonwell picked for the win, Kyle Charpentier picked for the win. We got Dustin Lee picked for the win. So, guys and ladies, get your picks in.
Working their way through turns number 3 and 4, coming off of 4. iRacing.com Ford Mustang pace car is going to pull the pit road for hopefully what's going to be the final time. Ryan Matthews on 2 tires. A little bit of an experiment to see what that 51 could do. He's going to back him up on the restart, change lanes before the start-finish line, block up that top side of the racetrack, and take the lead. So he's going to maintain that lead down the front straightaway, at least into turn number 1. Now we see what 2 tires can do.
Yes, he's got both hands firmly on the steering wheel as he's got Dave Washington all over him. He gets a little bit loose, up into the wall. Oh, he just grazes the wall. Looks like he's going to hold on to it. He's going to be fine.
But the 2-tire call does not work out. He's not able to even hang on until out of turn 2. The 51, the experiment has failed, and that moves David Washington into the lead with Dylan Jones now in that 2nd spot.
That is true. Looks like you have your usual leaders back up front. But this race is far from over.
Move Jason Jacoby into that 2nd spot. So now that Toyota Domino's machine is going to go after that number 1 position. Here comes Ryan Hill up from 6th on the restart, now to 4th here on lap number 39.
In a close 5th position is Mitchell Reeves in that 02 Southeast Motorsports Chevy SS. He's having another good run. He's always been up to the top 5, 6, 7 spots tonight. Gabe, would not surprise me to see him pull a 1 off here. He's definitely got some serious stiff competition. The leaders running 1st and 2nd and 3rd. Behind him, we got Curtis Young. Haven't talked a lot about Curtis Young tonight. He's running up in the 6th position. He's in that Ford Fusion. Everybody knows that you've heard these broadcasts. If you're brand new, Curtis Young won 15 races in our inaugural season in 2016 for Domino's TYJ Racing. He won the Den Defenders Truck Championship, a couple of wins in the Cup Series as well, and he is definitely looking to get his first win here tonight in the Top Shelf Cup Series for 2017, Gabe.
Still looking after win number 1 on the year. We've had 3 different winners. David Washington looking to change that. Here he's leading, closing in on halfway, lap number 40. This race has gone by relatively quickly. Jason Jacoby looking for win number 1 on the year, and so is Dylan Jones. So we're going to have to wait and see if any of these drivers can take that win out of the number 98's hands. Ryan Hill also looking for a win. Mitchell Reeves as well. And back to Curtis Young. Curtis, a lot of these drivers not winning for a while. So we're going to have to wait and see if these guys can get to victory lane.
Yes, and I want to talk real quick about Ryan Matthews. He started the free start as the leader. He only took 2 tires. He's in that 51 machine. He is driving that S&M Auto Service Ford Fusion. He's fallen all the way back to 11th position, but that's not too bad. He's actually making his way back up now. Looks like those other tires have worked themselves back to equilibrium, so to speak. And wouldn't surprise me, don't see him gain a couple more spots here.
Well, the one thing you have to look at, Ryan Matthews was running 11th before he came to pit road, so with that little mess up on the restart, he has gained nothing, lost nothing. So if he's looking to make up time, 2 tires is not going to be the call, but if he can maintain his positions, it's going to be a good sign for 2 tires later in the race.
Yes, he is just making his way right around the number 2 of Marcus Potts. Marcus Potts tonight is driving that Penn Chevy SS. I did notice that car has got a brand new sponsorship on it. Let the battle begin. It's on the rear quarter panels of this number 2 car. It's a great looking paint scheme. Marcus Potts had a great run last night in the Truck Series, and he's fighting hard here for the top 10 position right now.
He's got Ryan Matthews on the inside of him as they go into turn number 3. Your up front group is still Jason Jacoby in second, David Washington in the lead, Dylan Jones in the 3rd spot.
Yes, one other driver I want to talk about real quick. Tanner Talrico started 22nd in this field tonight. He's up to the 8th position right now. He's driving that Fox sponsored Chevy SS, the number 42. That's a famous number in racing, and he's made his way up to the 8th position, having a good run again tonight.
That front driver starting to fan out. Looks like between the 51, the 011, and William Davis Jr., Marcus Potts, big fan out. Tim Cox also throw him in there. Back half of the top 10, inside the top 15. They're racing side by side. So they're going to be almost 3 wide by the time they come off of turn number 4, but they're going to keep it 2 wide. Marcus Potts looking to gain a position between him, Eric Stanford, and Tim Cox in number 19.
I tell you what, there's a whole group of cars behind them. We've got Marcus Potts, like you said, Jack Watts. I talked about him much tonight. He's in the 66. He's in this big gaggle of cars. We've also got Gary Sexton's falling back to 15th. Buzz Moore in the Budweiser sponsored car. He's in the 11 car. He's back to 16th place. We've also got even Brandon Cruz Monsivice. He's in 17th place in the 54. Dustin Lee in the 32. These cars are all fighting for position here.
Going to fan out, coming out of turn number 4, Buzz Moore to the top, then to the bottom, blocking number 54. Here he comes, Brandon to the outside, blocking every lane on the racetrack, making that car 6 lanes wide as the number 11.
Yes, we actually have a second Budweiser-sponsored car in the race tonight. Mentioned last night, we've got a lot of interesting things going on in Domino's TYJ Racing fans. Not to mention the fact we're giving away free pizzas every single week. 2 a week now, Wednesday and Thursday night, so fans, make sure you get your picks in. You've got about 3 laps to get your pick in. You can text 919-883-7497. Pick your pick for the winner before halfway in about 3 laps, and we will announce the winner of this pizza giveaway tonight before the end of the race. But we have a second Budweiser-sponsored car in James Ross. He's running in 20th position. He's in the 14 car. He is the Banquet Budweiser Ford Fusion. Whereas the other Budweiser car, Bud Moore, is in the 11. He's in the Kentucky Fried Chicken Budweiser sponsored car. So, ladies and gentlemen, you get those sponsors all together, and you're going to have a big-time chicken beer party.
The battle of the beer wagons. Back up front, the number 1 of this Jacoby has been passed by the number 03 of Dylan Jones for that 2nd spot. So Jones is now going to go after his teammate David Washington. We close in on halfway. Remember, get your picks in for that free Domino's pizza. You can pick David Washington, Dylan Jones, Jason Jacoby, Ryan Hill. They're all in contention for this victory. That's the 88 of Kyle Kramer getting out of the way of your leaders as they go into turn number 3.
Yes, Gabe, we do have a lot of people who have picked and chimed in here for the win for the pizza tonight. Jason Jacoby is putting up a stiff battle up there in the 3rd position. Ryan Hill is also looking to make a move here. Will it be the race that Ryan Hill breaks out and gets his first win? We'll just have to wait and see as the 88 gets passed again.
Mitchell Reeves now under fire in that number 02 machine, looking back to the top 5. Curtis Young is now on the back bumper of that number 02 machine, who that car brought him to victory in the preseason, as I've said a couple times. He's not repeating that performance so far here tonight. Started in 2nd, but he's now back to the 5th spot in danger of losing that top 5 to Curtis Young.
Yes, Curtis Young is all over the bumper of Mitchell Reeves. He's looking at the inside now as they come across the start-finish line. Can he make it work going into turn 1? It'll all depend on what kind of line he can take and who's got the best tires underneath their car right now.
Here they come to complete lap number 50, so halfway point will be over in just a few seconds. So get your picks in. We're pretty much not going to take any more picks. So if you got yours in, good. If you don't, that is unfortunate. Try again next week. But David Washington rounding turn number 4. He's going to complete lap number 50, and we're going to do your iRacing Midway race break here on All Pro Broadcasting. David Washington is your leader. Dylan Jones in that number 2 spot. Jason Jacoby in the 3rd spot in the number 1 machine. Ryan Hill running in 4th. Mitchell Reeves in 5th. Curtis Young in 6th. Tanner Talrico, your point leader, coming in tonight in the 7th spot. Curtis Aho in 8th. Ryan Matthews up to 9th when he was back to the 11th spot after taking 2 tires. Eric Stanford in 10th.
Yeah, it looks like in 11th we have got Marcus Potts running in the number 2 machine. 12th we have William Davis in the 011. He started 14th. 13th position we have Tim B. Cox in the 19th. 14th position we have Buzz Moore in the 11 Bud sponsored car like I mentioned before. 15th position we have Brandon Cruz Monsivice in the 54. We've also got, looks like positions are changing as we speak. Brandon just lost a couple of spots right there, looks like, as Seth Valady definitely gets around him. Gary Sexton is running 18th in the 17. James Ross in the other Budweiser sponsored car, the 14 machine, he is running 19th. Jeff T. Martin is running 20th in the 014. Raymond Wright now, hadn't talked a lot about him. He's up to 21st. He did not take the qualifying time. He's having a little bit of struggles tonight here, but I'm sure he'll be there at the end. Jack Watts is in 22nd. In the 66, Josh Bonwell, 23rd. He's about 10 seconds back. George Hendricks, hadn't talked about him much. He's in 24th. Started 33rd. He's in the 34 core. Jesse Abraham is in 25th position right now. He started 25th, so he's maintaining where he was in the 97. These other drivers are 1 lap down. We have Brian Coots, Kyle Kammer, Nick Reynolds. Nick Reynolds is started 6th, so he's having a really rough night tonight. Jeffrey Ford, 19 laps down. He's obviously had some serious damage to his car. Same thing with Kyle Charpentier. They took it behind the wall. William Roberts Jr., Gerald Campbell also took his car behind the wall. Mike Franklin and Raymond Vasquez had trouble with his engine right at the beginning of the race. He's 44 laps down, Gabe.
Trouble for your back drivers from 29th to 34th. 34 drivers on the field, 25 on the lead lap, just 11 seconds behind your leaders here in the midway point of a run. Lap number 54 just past the halfway point. We're closing in on the finish here at Auto Club Speedway. Well, while everything's pretty much calmed down, looks like Dylan Jones is actually reeling in. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back for more Green Flag Racing here on All Pro Broadcasting, and we'll be back with more than likely some Green Flag pit stops. So stay tuned here on the All Pro Broadcasting Network for the Arizona Painting 200 live here from Auto Club.
My name is Joe Campbell. I'm one of the owners of Arizona Painting Company. We specialize in residential and commercial repainting, both interior and exterior. We service the entire Valley of Phoenix. What differentiates us from other painting companies is we're the ones that come out to your house, meet with you, take a walk around and see what you're really needing, and then we leave an estimate on site with you to answer any questions you might have. We joined Better Business Bureau to be part of a nationally respected brand. We know the benefits of having BBB accreditation, and we're proud of that by showcasing it on our website and all of our marketing materials. We know that any respected company should be accredited, and one of the first things we did was apply to be a member of BBB, and we've never regretted that decision ever since. Being accredited has helped us on countless occasions. Each and every estimate we do, we provide the customer with a copy of our Better Business Bureau page, which currently rates us as an A+ company, and we're really proud of that. We encourage all of our customers to review any prospective companies using Better Business Bureau's website. By being rated as an A+ company and being accredited, it has helped us to land many jobs we may not have otherwise received.
Welcome back, race fans. You are watching the Arizona 200 here live on All Pro Broadcasting. This is the Domino's TYJ Racing Top Shelf Series live at Auto Club Speedway. We're on lap 60 of 100 laps. We've got a big battle going on up front. Also a big battle back here in 10th position. I'm right along with Marcus Potts in the number 2. He's in 10th position trying to get around Ryan Matthews in that 51 Ford. If you remember, Ryan Matthews is the driver that took 2 tires on that last pit stop. He's in the S&M Auto Service Ford Fusion. He fell back to 11th, restarted first, fell back to 11th, he's back up to 9th position, so Ryan is having a good run on those 2 tires. It definitely looks like a move that might work if you're going to have about a 20-30 lap run to the end of the race, but it's not what you want to do if you got 5-10 laps to go. You definitely want to get 4 tires here. Back up front, it looks like we do have David Washington in the Chef Andy's Gourmet Lobster Rolls Ford Fusion, still leading the race. David qualified 3rd. He has got a 1-second lead over his teammate Dylan C. Jones in the 03 machine. These guys are basically been putting on the clinic here. We got some other very talented drivers. Ryan A. Hill in the 55 has moved up to 3rd. He started in 12th. Jason Jacoby in the Domino's Toyota, he's up to 4th position. He started in 7th. And these guys, including Mitchell Reeves, up to 5th position, who started 2nd. They're all fighting for that top position here, which will be in about 38 laps.
His way around the number 1 of Jason Jacoby for that number 4 position. He's going to go after that number 55 of Ryan Hill. Phantom Armament number 55 machine as they come out of turn number 4, closing in on the latter stages of tonight's race. Just under 40 to go here in tonight's race. Curtis Young in that 6th position. Mitchell Reeves now up in the 4th, moving Jason Jacoby down to 5th position.
Yes, these guys up front, they've definitely been working and staying up front pretty much the whole race. I'm going to take a real quick past the 15th position through the field to talk about some of these drivers in the back. We got a couple of minutes here, Gabe. We have James Ross in the 15th position. He's in that other Budweiser car. He started 17th. He's in 15th, about 10 seconds back. He might be biding his time, waiting for the last pit stops here, which we know we're going to have at least one more pit stop, Gabe. Gary Sexton is back in 16th. He's in the 17 machine. He started, looks like, 20th, so he's gained a few positions. Jack Watts is back here in 17th, Gary Sexton's in 16th. Buzz Moore's in 18th. Raymond Reitnauer is in 19th. Most of these drivers started in the back of the pack. The only big difference is we've got Brandon Cruz Monsivas in the 54. He started 10th, Gabe. He's all the way back to 21st.
Big fallback for the number 54 machine, up from 10th, as you said, to the 21st spot. George Hendricks behind him, up from 33rd, did not qualify. Did not turn a time in qualifying, now to 22nd. And last car on the lead lap, Jesse Abraham in 23rd, that number 97 machine. But back up front, David Washington still pulling away by more than 1.1 seconds over his teammate Dylan Jones. Ryan Hill in that third spot. So it's just a single file race, really. It looks like Jason Jacoby actually is now going around the number 02 for that number 4 spot.
Yes, like we said, we got a few minutes here. Just want to talk another quick second about the Domino's TYJ Racing family, Gabe. You participated in the premier, or the opening race, of the Denton Fenders Truck League last night. You had a pretty good race going early on. You got involved there near the end. Give us your impression of how it is not only to be a commentator, the Domino's TYJ Racing family, but also to be a driver in the Denton Fenders Truck Series game.
Well, I'd have to say, I mean, it was a good experience. I rode in the back for most of the race, but I was working my way forward. It was an interesting experience. I mean, you can't really judge it off of Daytona. It's really just a crapshoot. So I'm going to be looking forward to going to places like Atlanta, Martinsville, to really see what these guys can do.
Yes, Gabe, and we definitely have got a lot of races coming up. We are on the live iRacing portal every single Wednesday night going forward through the end of November. It's about a 29 race schedule. We've just knocked out race number 1, and I'm hearing some communications that we are going to have pit stops going on right now.
Pit stops for your top drivers. We're going to get ready to come down pit road. It's actually started to come down for Dylan Jones. It was 1.2 a few laps ago. Now 1 second between your first top 2 drivers.
Looks like Ryan Matthews has had his hands full with those 2 tires. He's going to come down pit road here in just a lap or 2, get 4 fresh Goodyear Rubber Eagles tires on there, and 2 cans of Sunoco Racing Fuel. And these pit stops here, Gabe, if we stay green, it looks like we are, this is definitely going to determine who's going to win this race. If you pit early, you get that fresh rubber early in the run. If we stay green until the end of the race, that could come back to bite you. It just all depends on when you make your pit stop.
Going to be all depending. Should see the drivers who short pit about a lap early. I think Curtis Jung is now going to come down to pit road, so he's going to be the first of your top 10 drivers to come to pit road. Looks like Ryan Hill is actually going to follow him down.
Yes, sir. I'm going to take the 94 of Curtis Young down pit road. I'm following as we speak. We're going to see what he does here on this pit stop. He has slowed it down. Looks like he's going to make it to pit road speed right before the timing lines. That way he didn't get any speeding penalties. He's down to the 55-mile-an-hour speed limit. Drivers have to maintain that so they don't get any kind of a penalty. It's a long trek down pit road for Curtis Young here in the number 94 Ford Fusion. He's staying to the right side, staying out of trouble. It feels like he's going a snail's pace with these cars zooming by on the outside on the track that are still under green flag conditions at 206 miles an hour. Curtis will bring it into his pit stall here. It looks like he's making a clean pit entrance. It does look like the right side is going up, so he's going to get the crew members going around getting the 2 right side Goodyear Eagles put on as the first can of Sunoco fuel goes in. The left side goes up, so he's definitely taking 4 tires here, Gabe. The second can of Sunoco fuel goes in. He's down and away from pit road as we speak.
David Washington, your top 3 already off of pit road. The number 98, he's got Dylan Jones right behind him, so it's going to be a race coming off of pit road. On the apron of the racetrack, rounding turns 1 and 2, Ryan Hill jumping to the top side, already getting up to speed. They're going to be nose to tail going into turn number 3.
They are nose to tail. This is going to be an extremely exciting turn into the corner here. Ryan Hill is right behind them. He's made up quite a few positions. He's running right with these leaders. Right behind him we do have Jason Jacoby, who I think, did he make a pit stop there, Gabe, or not? As Tanner Tallarico just hits the wall, the 42 machine.
Looks like Jason Jacoby has not come to pit road yet for that number 1 machine, so he's still out on the racetrack. Mitchell Reeves, Dustin Lee, Jesse Abraham, Brandon Monsivice are all top 4 drivers who have not come to pit road yet.
Yes, Mitchell Reeves makes his way back onto the back stretch. He was the leader there for a lap or 2. He will definitely get his bonus point.
Sorry, Robert. Jason Jacoby did come to pit road last time by. I'm sorry.
No problem, no problem. He was running back in 8th, and like I said, Mitchell Reeves is up to 2nd after his pit stop, but he did get a bonus point for leading lap. Looks like the leader is going to cycle back around to Jesse Abraham. He's coming down the pit road as we speak, so he will get a point for leading the race. He slows it down to 55 miles an hour in pit road. I'm going to follow him down pit road. He will be, looks like, the last lead car perhaps making his pit stop, but he's pitting late. So, Gabe, in your opinion, as Jesse pulls into his pit stop here, nice and clean, the right sides are going up. He's going to get 2 Goodyear Eagles on the right side of Canna-Sunoco Racing Fuel as the pit members. They do an adjustment in the back left. It looks like they're doing a track bar down, and they're going down the left side. The left side goes up. They're getting 2 left side Goodyear Eagles and a second can of Sunoco Fuel, so he's not saving any time on pit road. Do you think the leaders who pitted earlier are going to have a big advantage over Jesse, who just now came down pit road?
I don't know, but pitting all top 3 drivers. At the same time, it's ended up being a nice battle for the lead because David Washington under fire from the 0-3 of Dylan Jones as they go into turn number 3. So it's got the 82 of Mike Franklin pulling high, letting them go, but Jesse Abraham still, or he's just now coming off of pit road. So it's the battle for the lead. Top 2, top 3, they're side by side for the second spot.
Yes, Ryan Hill makes a smart move around Dylan Jones to gain the second position. Now he's going after the leader here, going into turn 1. He does look like he might be able to clear David Washington on the low side. He's going to sneak up right in front of him. If he can maintain it and keep it out of the wall, it looks like we're going to move Ryan A. Hill up to the leader here.
Ryan Hill going after win number 1 on the year. It took him 73 laps to get to the lead, and here comes David Washington to the inside. He's going to block low, cuts it close, but he's going to maintain that lead. Wait to see if he's going to hit the wall. We're coming off of turn number 4 because he dove it in hard. But he is going to be okay, and he's going to pull into the lead by about 3 car lengths over the number 98 machine.
I tell you what, Gabe, this is definitely heating up. Dave Washington is one of our veteran drivers. Ryan A. Hill is one of our best talents as well. They're definitely putting on a show here. It'll be very interesting to see, Gabe, if these 2 drivers wear their tires out early in this run and allow some other drivers that might be running 4th, 5th, 6th back to be able to have a better run later in this run to get the win for tonight. But this is definitely heating up for the lead.
Yep, and the good news for these drivers, we are good to go till the end of tonight's race. They went about 45 laps on that last run as David Washington making a run back at that number 55 as they come down the front straightaway. But he's making that run back. So they will not visit pit road anymore. 25 laps to go. There goes David Washington to the inside, back to the lead in turn number 1 around the number 55.
Yes, Gabe, I don't want to say this is monkey see, monkey do, but Ryan A. Hill said, hey, I got my point for leading a lap. I'm going to let David get around me, let him wear out his tires for a few laps, save my stuff a little bit, so maybe I will have something for the very end of this race to win this race.
Here comes a 55 back. He's closing in, had a little bit of a run coming off of turn number 4. And here comes Ryan Hill trying to get that lead back, but yeah, Robert, you're going to have to think about this. Are they going to have enough tires? You know, if they're running this hard, running this fast, they're going to wear out their tires by the end of the run.
Yeah, I'm just noticing. Thanks, Gabe. Jason Jacoby. He is in that one sponsor, Domino's Toyota. He's back and forth. He's 2.5 seconds back. Jason Jacoby looks like he's taking it easy here these first 10 laps of this run. He could be in the catbird seat, saving his tires to make a great run with about 10 laps to go. And you can never count out Tanner Talrico in the 42. He's in 5th position, about 5 seconds back. It gets to a point, Gabe, where you get too many seconds back. It doesn't matter how much tire you're saving. You're going to have a hard time catching these leaders, but as hard as these top 3 are running, I'm looking at Jason Jacoby maybe to pull off his first win. Wouldn't even surprise me to see Mitchell Reeves, who's back there 5.5 seconds back. He's definitely saving his tires as well.
While we were watching that, Dylan Jones got around Ryan Hill for that number 2 position, so that put the Aegis Noble conglomerate back to the top 2 positions. Here, closing in on 20 laps to go.
And we do have a battle here for 6th and 5th position. Curtis Young in the 94 is getting a run on the inside of Mitchell Reeves in that 02 Southeast Motorsport Chevy SS. These guys are side by side as they cross the stripe. They're fighting for 5th and 6th, and they don't want to let the leaders get too far out in front of them, as Curtis does make the pass.
Battle for your final few positions being decided here. Here comes Mitchell Reeves back to the inside, coming off of turn number 2. They're going to be side by side for that number 5 spot. Curtis Young has it. He took it away from Mitchell Reeves. Now Mitchell wants it back. Going into turn number 3, he's got the dominant lane. They come. If he can shove him down to the inside just like that, give him no room, Mitchell Reeves sliding up the racetrack, he's going to get dangerously close to that outside wall. He's going to be able to maintain it.
And that lets Tanner Talrico and the number 42 car gain up to right to his bumper as they cross the start-finish line in 7th position. He's going to make a battle out of this top 10 before the race is over. Nick Reynolds is showing his strength now. He started, actually he's in 25th position. He must be a lap down. Ryan Matthews is in 8th position. He's the driver who took those 2 tires 2 pit stops ago. He probably got 4 the last pit stop. He's having a really great run in 8th position.
Across the stripe next time by. Here we're on lap number 80. We're going to complete lap number 80 next time by. It'll be 20 laps to go. Robert, with the 20 to go, a little bit of a recap of what's happened tonight. We've seen pretty much dominance from the 2 drivers up front, the 98 and the 03, but that was to be expected. I mean, they showed strong efforts in the preseason race. Of course, David Washington did not, but he did not race in the preseason event. But David Washington, he's pretty much dominant everywhere he shows up if the engine underneath that car does not fail. Give a little shout out to Andy Kessler, the engine builder. But he had a little failure at Daytona. But since then, he's been pretty much consistent, working his way back through the field. He's now up to the 13th position in points with that 1 win and 1 top 5, 1 top 10. So he's been working his way back up. He had that 1 win in Vegas, and he's looking to get win number 2 on the year.
Yes, Gabe, and I'm going to go a little further back in the field, talk about a couple of drivers we haven't talked about tonight. Eric Stanford in that 24 Pepsi machine with the famous 24 logo in that Chevy SS. He's in 15th position. He is one of our newer drivers. He's having a good run tonight. He's battling with these Top Shelf Cup drivers. He's racing actually in the Xfinity Series on alternate Thursday nights. He's having a good run there. And he's looking good in that 24 Pepsi-sponsored Chevy SS. Jack Watts also in the 16th position. He's up to, he's in the Southeast Motorsports Chevy SS. He's running, like I said, 16th. Josh Bonwell, he is up to 17th. Obviously, every single race, his mother picks him for the win. He's going to have to pull out a miracle here, Gabe, to get back up to the front and win this race. But he has won at least 1 or 2 of the tryout races. He's one of the talented drivers. It's a beautiful paint scheme. It's called the NAC Tech Solutions Ford Fusion in that 56 orange car.
Get that 56 is going to have to make up 17 positions on the racetrack to get that victory, but he'll eventually get one if he stays consistent. He ran up front at Daytona, so look when we get back to the plate tracks for that number 56 to shine. He ran well up front for the duration of tonight, or a couple weeks ago's Daytona race. But closing in up front, closing in on 15 laps to go, Dylan Jones in that number 03 machine. He's got it down to 0.3 of a second between your top 2.
Yes, and actually, like you just said, Ryan Ahill has fallen back to 3rd. He obviously used up a little bit of his tires early in that run. Jason Jacoby, the 1 Domino's, he could still be saving. You know, with 16 laps to go, he might really be turning up the wick on the burner underneath that Toyota Camry. It's got the same power plant basically as these other vehicles. He could step on the gas here in about 2 or 3 laps and make his way up to the front if he saved his tires.
I don't know, because David Washington is one of the masters at saving his equipment. Both those 2 drivers, Dylan Jones was in the Peak Antifreeze Series, so he knows how to get it done in these series. And David Washington made a run at it, unfortunately did not make it, but both these drivers on the caliber to make that field. Ryan Hill still consistently in that 3rd position, 1.1 seconds back. It's now 2/10 between your top 2 drivers as they're going to come to 15 laps to go this time by. Robert's going to get close up here up front. It'll be one of the closer finishes we've had all year. Pretty much every race has been a dominant fashion, maybe except for Atlanta, because that was a very close and controversial finish between Tanner Talrico and Curtis Young. But this is going to be shaping up to be another good finish here for the Domino's Series.
Yes, looks like the 17 of Gary Sexton's making a move as we speak on the 32. The Olive Hill Welding Southeast Motorsports of Chevy SS of Dustin Lee. Looks like he's going to make that pass. The 32's got a little bit of rear damage. And just as I say that, James Ross in the Budweiser Banquet Frozen Foods Ford makes a move around Gary Sexton. Gary Sexton must have driven in that corner a little bit too hard in the Cross Continent Racing Chevy SS. These positions are changing every single lap, Gabe, as we got about 13 laps to go.
James Ross, another one of those ageless no-bull drivers. He's up from 17th now to the 12th position around the 17 of Gary Sexton. Now going to go after your pole sitter of Dustin Lee in the number 32.
Yes, Dustin Lee had a great run last night in the Truck Series. He dominated the Denton Fender Truck opener last night at Daytona. He must have led 3/4 or more of that race. He was running third on the last lap. We had a contact situation between the leaders, and Dustin Lee pulled off the win. A great win for him. He's having a little bit more trouble, a little bit more struggles tonight, but he is definitely having a good run in the Domino's TYJ family of races.
Back up front, Dave Washington pulling away, so he waited till his teammate got to the back bumper of him, 2/10 away, and it's now about 15 car lengths, now 9/10 of a second between your top two drivers. And Robert, your little theory about Jason Jacoby, it's not going to come true because he is now 3.2 seconds back. He's lost about a full second since we talked about him, and we're closing in on 10 laps to go.
Yes, sir, Gabe, this is very amazing. These drivers are all very talented. They're all very experienced in this Gen 6 Cup car. The difference is some drivers know a little bit better how to save their equipment at the beginning of a run. Other drivers want to get out there and get the lead, get their bonus point for leading the lap, and that's a good thing to do. But if you're looking for wins, and I can guarantee you, Gabe, Ryan A. Hill is thirsty. He is hungry like you've never been for a win in this series. He's run with us for almost a year now. He did get one win in the Dash for Cash Fall Series at Watkins Glen, where he did a great job. And we do go back to Watkins Glen this year, Gabe, so it'll be interesting to see if he can dominate some of these front runners for that race. But these guys, I tell you what, they are taking notes on these front runners, and they're trying to figure out how to win on these ovals and get as much experience as they can from Dave Washington and Dylan Jones.
Well, it's just like real life in the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series. If a driver wins only on a road course, say like Juan Pablo Montoya, AJ Allmendinger, and Marcus Ambrose, they want to prove that they can get it done on the ovals. And Ryan Hill is going to look to try and do that this year. As you said, he's already got the win on the road course, turning left and right. Now he just needs to master turning left.
Yes, one thing I can definitely let all the fans know, looks like we are going to have a winner for the free Domino's Pizza tonight, because we do have a couple of people who have picked. Looks like Dave Washington. Anything can happen with 10 laps to go, but we're definitely going to have a winner again tonight. And another thing I can tell you, Gabe, is these drivers are learning a lot tonight. We've had over 125 drivers in our series over the last 2 years. Most of them have improved all their skills. A couple have gone on to race in the Peak Antifreeze Series or the Pro Circuit, and we've had a couple of guys that are teaching these other drivers. So this is a great experience for all the guys involved.
Looks like Ryan Hill's actually going to move into that second spot here in the next few laps. If he can catch the number 03 of Dylan Jones, he's going to earn that nickname of Mr. Second Place. I'm going to start calling Mr. Bridesmaid, because he can do everything but win a race. Except for at Watkins Glen, as you said. I was not in the booth for that race. Unfortunate, because I would love to see Ryan Hill in the number 55 win that event. But he's closing in on that second spot with Dylan Jones.
Yes, and I just heard over team communications, Gabe, a couple of these drivers are going to be running short on fuel, possibly. So these guys are either going to be saving big time here with 2 or 3 laps to go, or I don't know what's going to happen, but I definitely heard a few drivers going to be short.
That is surprising. That's surprising, actually. I would have thought, these drivers pitted about lap 35 the last time, 37, and they moved on to lap 69, so, almost 30 laps, and their pit stop was, it was on that threshold. Yeah, actually, you know what? The math is starting to work out now. It's going to be close. They should be okay. I think these drivers should have recognized that they were going to be close, but drivers like Dylan Jones and Ryan Hill. Ryan wants to get that second spot because he's got Taryn Talrico coming. And if he can get that points lead, he's going to be all set for the rest of the year. He's going to try and maintain it. So he's going to have to go after that second spot, but he's going to have to watch his fuel.
I tell you one thing, Gabe. Dylan Jones either wore his tires out or he's saving some fuel, because Ryan A. Hill has definitely called him for that second position as they cross the start-finish line here on lap 94. And I got a weird feeling that we're going to have some of these leaders having some issues with fuel. I don't know for sure, but it's going to be very interesting to see here.
I'll tell you what, Robert, it looks like Ryan Hill's now going after that second spot. I'm gonna try and dial up a couple of radios. You're going to take it in the broadcast here for just a few seconds. I'm going to go and check and see if these drivers are good on fuel or not here in the closing laps.
Yes, sir. As Ryan Hill does pass the 03 still sponsored Dylan Jones machine, Ryan Hill has now got his eyes set on David Washington for that #1 position. Ryan Hill is running down the front stretch here, 202, 204 miles an hour as he hits the brakes going into turn 1, and he has made up some time here on the leader. It looks like now Ryan Hill is 1.5 seconds behind David Washington. Dylan Jones is falling back 2 seconds behind the leader. So drivers are definitely saving some fuel. They're definitely trying to figure out a way to run this race for the last 5 laps.
Robert, I just got off with David Washington and Dylan Jones. It looks like your top drivers are okay, but the drivers, a couple of them pitted a few laps early with about 34 laps to go instead of 32, so that's why they're on the threshold of making it on fuel. But it's like Ryan Hill has now gotten around the number 03 of Dylan Jones while I was talking to those guys, and it is inside 5 laps to go. So if we get a caution, the race is over with. iRacing does not have a way of cycling through a 5-lap caution period and going for a green light checker. So if at any point we get a caution in the next 4 laps, the race is completed.
I tell you what, we've had a very green flag race tonight. We had about, 48 laps last night, the truck race green, so we were definitely seeing some very talented racers across the whole spectrum of the Domino's TYJ Racing family in the Den Fender Truck, Premier Xfinity, and Top Shelf Cup. These guys know how to race, they know how to race clean, and we're definitely going to have an interesting finish here.
David Washington 2.1 seconds the gap. Dylan Jones running in third with Ryan Hill in that little sandwich. Jason Jacoby still running in fourth. Mitchell Reeves backing up his win in the preseason Thunder races in the top 5.
Another thing you got to wonder here with about 3 laps to go, do we get a caution? And do any of these drivers hit the wall? These tires have definitely got a lot of laps on them. I know these drivers have made some adjustments in car to keep the handle on their vehicles, but it'll be definitely interesting to see what happens.
As I said, if we get a caution, the race will be over with. Looks like Ryan Hill's actually caught him by about 3/10 that last lap, so David Washington may be letting off and just trying to nurse that car home. He's good on fuel. He's just going to try and make it around the racetrack just 2 more times. Coming off of turn number 4, popsicle sticks will be in the air. 2 laps to go from the flag stand, closing in on the end of tonight's 200-mile event.
And some of these drivers that are running in the back, they're going to gain some valuable points positions. We've had a few drivers not make tonight's race. Either they were in Daytona working on real cars in the Camping World Truck Series, which will be racing tomorrow, or they're working on real cars in the Xfinity Series. So we definitely got some guys that are missing this race, and they're going to get 0 points. So we're going to have a big shakeup in the points, at least from 10th on back.
Yeah, I actually had the pleasure of meeting a few guys from Domino's. I was down there. It's actually pretty surprising to hear Robert. Robert says hi down in Daytona, so a lot of guys from Domino's involved in the real racing side of things. But white flag in the air for David Washington going after win number 2 on the 2017 season. His season started off on the wrong note, blowing up an engine in Daytona, and ended up coming home with a top 15 finish in Atlanta. He was able to get a decent finish, but he capped it all off in Las Vegas, getting the victory on the first victory on the 2017 season. Coming off of turn number 4 for the first time this year, we've got a 2-time winner. David Washington comes across the stripe to win the race here in Auto Club Speedway, the Arizona Painting 200. And for yet again, Ryan Hill comes home in second.
Yeah, that was one of the cleanest races we've seen. This Auto Club Speedway, the 2-mile oval, has got plenty of room. But I tell you what, Gabe, these drivers put on a great show tonight. We had pit stops. We did have a couple of cautions. We had a lot of strategy went into place here. And fans, we are staying right here for interviews in just a minute. We're going to get the top three after this race is over in about 1 minute for interviews. So stay put. And we're also going to let you know if you won the free large 3-topping pizza.
Grabbing your driver's going to let them celebrate and get out of their cars. The top three, David Washington, Ryan Hill, and Dylan Jones. We're going to go ahead and give you your rundown of the full field. Those are your top three. Jason Jacoby in the 4th spot. Mitchell Reeves in 5th. Curtis Young in the 6th spot. Dustin Lee in 7th. James Ross in 8th. He comes home with a good top 10 finish. 9th is going to be Jack Watson. Tim Cox rounds out your top 10.
Yes, Gabe, if you go through the rest of those guys, I'll get everybody else ready for the interviews. Thank you, Gabe. In 11th, we do have Josh Bonwell, started in 24th, so he made a big move up front. It's going to help him in the points. Eric Stanford, we talked about him earlier in that 24 Pepsi-sponsored machine. He finished in 12th, up from 21st. A lot of these guys came from the back. Marcus Potts in the 2, he started 23rd, finished 13th. We have Ryan Matthews. He did try that 2-stop strategy earlier in the race. He started 29th. He finished in 14th. Buzz Moore in the 11. He finished 15th. Gary Sexton, talked about him a little bit. He finished in 16th. Brandon Cruz Monsivice started 10th. Looks like he fell back, had some struggle pretty much during the whole race. I think the handling was off on that car. Sometimes you miss it, sometimes you hit it. He finished 17th. Raymond Reitnauer finished 18th. He moved up 10 spots. George Hendricks moved from 33rd all the way up to 19th. Jesse Abraham, we talked about him. He finished 20th. And he is the last car on the lead lap. All these cars are 1 or more laps down. Tanner Talrico, Seth Foudy, Jeff Martin, Nick Reynolds, Brian Coots. Curtis Aho was involved in the incident earlier. William Davis, Kyle Kammer, Mike Franklin involved in the incident. He was down 63 laps. Jeffrey Ford also involved in a wreck earlier in the race, although we had a couple. Kyle Charpentier involved also. William Roberts, Gerald Campbell, and Raymond Vasquez. All these drivers were multiple laps down, Gabe.
34 drivers took the green flag, but 1 driver took the checkered flag. David Washington in the number 98 for the 2nd week in a row brings it home in the victory lane. Congratulations, David.
Thanks, Gabe. Yeah, that was a good run. I was happy with that.
Good to talk to you again, and the only challenge we saw all night was from your teammate, the 03 of Dylan Jones, and for just a few laps, the 55 of Ryan Hill. Did you think Hill, for just a second, had a car to beat you?
No, not when we backed up the pace a little bit, so it allowed him to get underneath Jones and then under me. And Andy was talking to me, and I just told him, I said, I'm just going to go. I'm not even going to worry about it. I'll save fuel after we get going. And that's all I did.
You come home. Now, I got to talk about the other driver that finished 3rd, Dylan Jones. Do you think he had a car for you? I know you guys were talking back and forth. Did he give you a little bit of a scare throughout the night?
He was good in 1 and 2. I was just a little better in 3 and 4. He just had trouble putting it all together. Came off and hit the wall 1 lap and kind of made him fall back. But he's one of those kind of drivers that you just gotta. He has to be consistent every lap. If he gets distracted, he'll lose his focus, and then you saw what happened.
Well, David, I know you don't like playing the fuel mileage game, so the only 2 cautions we got tonight that allowed you to kind of run your own race. I know you liked a little bit of green flag running for a change.
Yeah, it was nice, definitely. No issues with anybody. I love the long green flag runs, separated during pit stops. I saw that Ryan was able to stay with us there at the end with pit stops, which is kind of cool. The other guys, I don't know what was going on with them. It seemed like they were good like for the first 10 or 12 laps, like most of the other tracks. It's just after that is when you see them fall back a little bit.
All right, David, any sponsor shout-outs you want to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, big shout-out to All Pro Broadcasting for coming on board this season. Domino's for putting this thing together. Shout out to Jones Kessler, James Ross. I'm having a lot of fun.
All right, Dave, congratulations. And I've caught up right next to me, Ryan Hill. So close to victory lane yet again, Ryan. The number 55 comes home second yet again.
Yeah, most people would enjoy it, but I'm getting kind of sick and tired of it, to be honest with you.
Well, we know you'll get to victory lane eventually. You just got to stay consistent. But it's got to feel bad knowing you had a car that could run in the top 3, and you had a car that could have won the preseason race, and you ended up in the same position. I mean, consistency is key, but it seems like you need to just gain a little bit more speed, and you'd be dominant in the series.
Yeah, I don't know what David's doing with his car. I think he's cheating somehow, but it's...
Keep in mind, David can hear you.
I hope he can. I want some of his whoever's built his engine. I think we need to strip that engine down. He's got something under there.
Dave, you need to lock up Andy.
Yeah, this is the second week he's beat me like that. So I don't know. We had a good car. I was hoping strategy would play out to my hand, but all of us in the top 3 were kind of on the same page. So
yeah, Ryan. I hate to come home second again, but I would ask this: is there any track on the calendar? I mean, you won at Watkins Glen last year. Do you think there's any racetrack that you'll be dominant at in the next few weeks?
Well, I would say a short track like Bristol, but then I go back to the Dasher Cash, and David beat me there too. So probably Watkins Glen. I was just telling Dylan that, so I'm really looking forward to Watkins Glen. I know I have a car I can win there. So if I get a win somewhere, I can get in the chase, so we don't have to points our way in, even though I'm pretty sure I'm like top 3 in the points because I still have consistent top 10s besides Daytona. So.
Well, Ryan, we're going to let you go, and I guess quotation marks enjoy this second place finish. And anybody you want to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank everybody at DBR, Phantom Armament, Hilco Disposal and Recycling, Chevrolet. Unfortunately, 2 weeks in a row we couldn't get to that Ford of David, so Will got some work for us in the next 2 weeks, so we'll show up for the next one, and hopefully we'll qualify up front again, and hopefully win.
All right, Ryan, congratulations on second place, and Robert, you've caught up with our third place finisher, Dylan Jones.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Gabe. Dylan Jones, this is Robert in the broadcast booth. Congratulations on the third place finish. First question I want to ask you, Dylan, real quick, Gravely Power Equipment. Give us a quick short history on your sponsor tonight.
Oh yeah, we use Gravely mowers and power equipment running our little landscaping business I run here in real life. They always been real dependable and do good work for me.
I tell you what, that is awesome, Dylan, to have a real-world sponsor on your car supporting you. I do notice on the front right corner fender of your Chevy SS there, the Gravely Power Equipment machine, you do have a little bit of right front damage. I'm just curious, did you get in the wall a little bit there in the last few laps that cost you that second place finish?
Yeah, with about 10 laps to go, I wasn't making much progress on Dave, so I decided maybe try to arc the corner, get a bigger runoff, try something different to try and get him. And the car got real tight on exit, and we hit the wall a little bit. And from there, I think we were down a little bit on speed and just trying to minimize our losses from there.
Wow, that is exciting. You've definitely driven a good race tonight. Who else would you like to give shout-outs to?
Thanks for everyone at the Domino's League for putting this on, and All Pro Broadcasting. It's been a good race.
Well, hey, we appreciate it very much. Thank you for being here. And live on the phone right now, Gabe, we have our second night in a row, second free large Domino's Pizza winner. On the phone here, we have got Gary Sexton's father from all the way from Chester, Pennsylvania. Gary Sexton, hold on just a second. You are Gary Sexton Sr., is that correct?
That is correct.
Yes, sir. Well, obviously you picked your son to win the race. Excuse me. You did not pick your son to win the race. You picked David Washington. I'll let your son, Gary Sexton Jr., and you battle that out. You might have to give him half the pizza. I don't know how close he lives to you, Gary Sexton Sr., but congratulations on winning your free pizza. How did you pick Dave Washington? How did you pick Dave Washington?
Because I've seen him race and I know he's good. And my son's just not quite there yet.
Yes, sir. Well, we appreciate honesty, and your son is a very talented driver. He's definitely going to have a lot of success. Just wanted to thank you very much, and if you will text me Saturday, Sunday, whatever is most convenient for you. We love our fans. We love giving away these free pizzas. You decide what 3 toppings you want. I don't care if you live in Pennsylvania, Hawaii, Florida, North Dakota. If you win the pizza, you definitely get the pizza. So congratulations, Gary, and I'm going to hang up now. Congratulations, and we'll talk to you over the weekend. Wow. That is exciting. I saw the name pop up, and I was thinking Gary Sexton cannot win the pizza. He's a driver here, but obviously it's his father. And like I said, they might have some awards to talk about over Thanksgiving dinner later this year, as the father did not pick the son to win the race, but that's exciting to hear, Gabe.
We're going to end the race here tonight. David Washington gets win number 2 on the season. We're going to round up the broadcast here on All Pro Broadcasting. I'd like to thank you for joining us here for the Arizona Painting 200. On behalf of me, Gabe Wood, Robert McFarland, and Michael D'Amico, getting the picture you see to you tonight. Thank you for joining us, and join us here next week. We'll be right back with the Xfinity Series here from Auto Club Speedway. Good night.
Do it for the money, do it for the country. It's not about the fame. They do it for the USA. They don't do it for the money. They do it for the country. It's not about the fame. They do it for the USA. They don't do it for the money. They do it for the country. It's not about the fame. They do it for the, they do it for the, they do it for the USA.
Robert.
So we're here at the first annual Paint It Forward giveaway. Joe, you're the owner of the company. Why are we here?
Well, as a leading painting company in Arizona, we thought it was a good idea to set a good example for what other companies can do.
So how does it work? People have to write why they need you guys to come out and paint their house. Maybe it's a family problem. There's a little old lady down the street who can't paint her own house. A lot of different things.
Yeah, really it's just any story. We asked them to go on our website and submit their story. And we had over 100 entries this year. And as a company, we voted on the top 10, and Kelly was the winner of all that.
Tell us your story about your husband. He's had a tough struggle. This is one of the reasons why we're here for you and for him.
Right. Yeah. He was diagnosed just shortly after my son was born, about 9 years ago, with cancer. It's a slow-growing type of cancer, but the last couple years it's been making more of a headway.
When you got the HOA letter in the mail that said you need to paint your house, was that a sinking feeling in your stomach, knowing that I don't know if I can afford this?
It is, because it's something that you have to do, but you don't know where the money's coming from, and you have about 20 or 30 other things that have a priority first, like the medical bills and the other financial bills. And even, we were 2 incomes, we're down to 1 income. So 1 income with a house we bought 10 years ago to support both of our incomes, and now it's just me. I think we pay for everything out of one salary. I heard the story on the radio about the Paint It Forward. I heard other things. I was obviously looking at painting quotes and things like that, but hesitant because I don't know what I'm going to get. And, I need a good job because, again, it's just me here with the kids. And when I heard it that day, I went home and I submitted my entry. And honestly, it was almost like a therapy thing for me just to write my story, and then I just put it up there and I just let it be. Whatever happens, happens.
Let's take off the blindfold, and here is your Paint It Forward. Yeah. Go.
Oh my goodness, it looks like a new house. Oh my goodness. Are you sure this is our house? Wow. Oh my goodness, what a difference. Wow. Oh, thank you. you, everyone. This is just wonderful.
Joe, you got dozens of trucks out here from the Arizona Painting Company. You got dozens of workers. How are you doing this? Because you're doing jobs all over the valley, and you've got a ton of people here.
We have the best employees in the state, and we got our troops to rally behind us today. And as the biggest painting company in Arizona, we like to do more than just paint houses. We want to give back to the community, and that's what this whole thing is about.
Hey!